Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios and part 2. Now, I had recorded part 2 yesterday and realized there was a problem at the end of the video and thought I had lost more than I had, actually. So I recorded a part 3 and then realized that I had enough of part 2. I just needed to cut the end, and then I thought, you know what? We're just going to cut both of those all together, and we're going to come back and we're just going to do a quick, shorter version this morning to upload. So I'm just going to show you what I did yesterday. We had been making the tags for these, and I have all 3 of the tags done. And I'm going to show you something here if I can find the other tag. I know there's another tag in here somewhere. There's 3 of those pockets. Where the other half of that one is. That one, and this one. There we go. If I can see where I dropped the other 2. I used 3 different toppers on the tags. And this is the one we did together with the baker's twine. This one was with a scrap of stuff from my jar. And I can see that when I did that, I missed the back piece. So instead of using that with the stapler, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to come back and do a piece of baker's twine around that one, but I really want just a white. And I don't know if I have just a white. I don't. Not there. But let me grab my sewing kit. This is a sewing kit box that I got a couple of years ago, and I just keep my things that I want to use for my binding kit in here. This is strictly for my binding kit. And if I want to work on small fabric clusters or something while I'm away, there's room in the bottom, I can do that. So let's go ahead. And I have put this through the hole. And now I'm just going to come back with a small piece of twine. And this is actually an English crochet thread that I got from my sissy several years ago. And then we're just going to tie them together. And when I talked about the toppers yesterday, I had totally forgot about this one. So I'm going to wrap it around there once. Just like that. And tie it again. And that will hold it secure. And then I can put a knot in it. Now, I've not had coffee this morning. I haven't even taken a drink of my lemon water yet. The weather this morning, we went from it being like 60 degrees yesterday morning when I got up to 75 degrees today and extremely humid. Now, I put that in a knot, and then I'm just going to come back and clip that off really short, just like that. And that should hold. Okay, so I have the 3 tags, and now I'm going to start at the front here so I can put the tags back where they belong. And then this one is supposed to go in the center one. And then we'll come back and talk about the pockets that I did yesterday. Okay, there should be a bottom to that one somewhere. There he is. I skipped right over top of it. Okay, so the next thing I did was, remember those pockets that we did a couple of weeks ago? I think maybe in week 2 for something else. I've added those in here, and then I've created a pocket, now, or the tag. Now, this tag is simply from one of the greeting cards that was in that paper pumpkin kit, and I just cut it in half on either side of the seam. I don't know if I've got another one in here. I do. I just cut it on either side of the seam so I didn't have that ridge, and then cut it down to size to fit the pocket. And these flower stickers were also from that paper pumpkin kit. And while they don't match up exactly, I'm going to show you a trick for that tacky here in a minute. But I had these, and I put those front and back. Now, they don't mirror exactly, and that's fine, because I'm going to come back here with my baby powder. And if you have sticky that you don't want to be sticky, just dust it with some baby powder. And that was a little overkill, but my container's full. And that will cover up the sticky and blend right into your piece. Now, if you're using a dark color, that's going to be a little trickier. Now, I have this powder all over my desk. I was telling my sissy about this vacuum from We Are Memory Keepers. And it charges. So I just push the button. And those little brushes, and you can get the cloud there. And it will pick up your glitter, powder remains, little thread trims, if they're not stuck in glue on your desk, my little dots, and clean up all the stickies off my desk. And that one's glued to my desk. Now it's glued to me. It just has these little brushes on the bottom, but pick everything up, just like a dirt devil. Turn it off. And now that it's all coated in the powder dust, and when my hands want to work, there we go. Just right off, and you can dump it out into your trash can. Now, I picked this up on Hobby Lobby. They had gotten a new shipment in, and somebody didn't rotate. They just shoved the new ones in front of the older ones, and these were on, this one was still only $10. The others had gone up in price, so I will have to do that later when my hands want to work. So we have the powder out of the way. We have the sticky off our flowers, off our tags. And then I thought those bird tags worked well in here that I made for Maddie's challenge. You know, you have birds and you have flowers, so I've stuck one of those in each of the front and back pockets. The other thing I had in video 2 that I wanted to show was on this one. This was Stampin' Up! Ribbon, and I wanted to show you the contrast and what I did. It's almost a vanilla, but not quite. And to get 2 pieces that thin, I just cut a section and then cut it down the middle. And then I dusted it with walnut stain from Tim Holtz to tone this bright white down a little bit. So it kind of matched the tag and wasn't quite as stark in color. So we did that. And then I went through and I started covering the bags. So this one I covered with some of the paper from Berry Bliss, added a bit of lace. This and this came from Kara Brandon's digitals that I've been picking bits and pieces from. And underneath this it said summer, and I just found a strawberry tag because this is the strawberries and watermelon kind of paper over here. And then I brought it up on dimensional, so it has a little bit of pop to it. This was that magazine fold over, and I made a pocket out of it. I didn't like the white across the top, so I brought in some of that watermelon paper. And then I made a larger tag out of our master board with one of the items from Kara's Digital. Again, I covered this with Memories, and that's got a little bit of sticky to it. I'm going to try not to get quite so emblazoned this time. I'm going to use a smaller paintbrush instead of that big poofy. And that's the way I can go back and dust that, and there's no sticky there anymore. Okay, and I'm going to do one element with you this morning, I think. At least that's my plan. So I added this and a little bit of that lace from Dollar Tree. And I happen to have a pull tab over here from the small whale tails from Spectrum Art Creations, from their dies. That sits down in there. That folds back over. This one is another cutout from the paper pumpkin. I just added a little bit of green lace. I wanted to put something else on here. I just haven't played with that yet. So I'll let you know when I come up with that. You'll see that. If I come up with something for that, you'll see that in tomorrow's flip through. Okay. And then on the bottom of this one, I added one of our tags, that lace. I cut out the lemon, dusted the edges with the walnut stain, and brought it up on dimensionals. Glued summer on here now because I glued it flat to the lemon, but I had to put a dimensional on the back and a little bit of that green paper that I have just fallen in love with. And wish I knew where it came from. I still have these to cover and do something with. Now I could cut the end of this off and turn this into another pocket, and I might. You'll know tomorrow. And then I've got another pocket here to work with. And this one I'll probably cover with some green type to mimic this grass. And then add a thing in there. And I think I can get to my garden tool stamps and dies. That I may add an embellishment to the tag that goes on there. We'll see. I really don't want to take away from this though, but I have a die for a ladder that would work there. So this is my goal this morning, is to play with this and finish this up. Again, another end of the paper bag. More of that paper. And I have this whole thing here. I can leave blank. I can decorate. Haven't decided yet. There is room for another tuck. And then this one, I took one of my Stampin' Up! Doilies, cut it in half, then cut it in quarters, and this is the back of one of those paper bags. I added some of that leaf paper from Bloomin' Bliss, paper from Stampin' Up!, and then I just put this in, and I just glued it on the 4 points. And then these are strawberry cutouts from that paper as well, and I just tuck them into there. Added a little flower die cut from the paper pumpkin. Here's another one of these, and I've decorated this one a little more. This is from the paper pumpkin kit. So if I have one of those parts handy here, to show you where that came from. There we go. And I have the other part here sticking to everything because it's meant to be a sticker. And I could maybe put that over a solid. We'll see. But it's a die cut that came from that paper pumpkin to put on a card. So we will do that. And so that's all I did to this. Rounded the corners and stuck it in this pocket. And then in the back I have another one of those cards. Now I had not done this part yet the other day. I did this once on camera actually, and the number 20, whatever number I had on there, smeared. So I had to pull it off, and then I went back in with brown stays on. And actually this is still a little big. I would prefer to have had one of the narrower ones, but it is what it is. And there's still more room to put stuff in that pocket, plenty of room to journal. Same with here, I could journal around this. I should have just glued this on one side and used it as a flip. Another pocket. I may add some more paper up here. So I will finish this up today, and we will do the final flip through tomorrow. And then I have a surprise for you for this one. So you're going to want to come back and stay tuned for that. In the meantime, remember to like, share, subscribe, and thank you for your patience as I, muddle through this. I'm sore again this morning, but it is what it is. I got stuff to do. So I'll see you tomorrow. Creative blessings.